Hello, everyone, and welcome to the British Silverback Podcast today. As you can see, we've got all the boys, not all the boys, but we've got some of the boys from the super heavyweight class from the Arnold Classic UK 2021. And Greg thought it'd be a good idea to kind of get everyone on, get some good bodybuilding chat. We'll talk about the Arnold Classic UK. And obviously the Olympia was last night, the night before. I don't fucking know what day it is, to be honest. We'll talk about the Olympia as well, get everyone's feedback on that. But first, we'll kick it off with what's everyone's kind of plans now. What's everyone doing? Greg, you're going last because you're the champ. So, Dan, you want to kick us off? What's your plans now?
Try and not turn into a potato, basically.
The anti-potato diet.
Anti-potato diet. I'm doing what all the cool kids call reverse dieting. I just call it not eating like a cunt.
Yeah.
The thing, I come straight off like stage and like I was ready to fuck some shit up, and then on Sunday I was ready to eat some bad stuff. But Ellis was one day ahead of me, so she'd already done this. So her motivation to do it again. So I was like, yeah, I want to go and get like a fry up, but like not a good one, like a really shit one. And she just couldn't be fucked. So I was like, on Sunday, I just ate the normal diet and got on with it. I didn't train, and then I trained on Wednesday and was like, oh, I'll do legs, but I'll take it easy, which didn't fucking happen. So I'm still disabled now. You know, it's like you come off stage like, yeah, I should take it easy, and you're like super motivated. You're like, oh, I need to get better, like now, even though you're just becoming a fucking water baby in real life. Yeah, these are definitely gains. These are all of these gains. I've put on 10 pounds of muscle in a day. Of course I have.
You've done possible to do like a half-hour session when your coaches aren't Bales.
Yeah, see, as well, he does that as well. He's like, yeah, pull back. But Leroy's coming over in a couple of weeks. Maybe you should turn up and do a pullback session with Leroy, shall I? Well, that's not going to happen. Like what he said after lockdown, I went up. I was like, let's do some leg presses. I haven't leg pressed in like 6 months, so I don't have a leg press. He's like, yeah, we're going to do 700 kilo. I was like, that is a shit idea. If ever fucking heard one. And then, so he was like, yeah. So did it, obviously. And then on rep 1, I popped something in my calf. Right? And then I was thinking, if this is my last set ever, I'll just finish it. If the calf's hanging off, I don't have calves anyway. It can't get much worse. But I'll just finish the fucking set. And, and then they were like, the Geordie lot, and they come together and they make this kind of like harmony of northern just noises when stuff like that happens. It's just like, oh man, Roy, oh fucking man, and no one really knows what's happening. But about 5 minutes later, someone's got a car buffer out, and they're trying, we'll just buff the calf out and stuff. And so no pulling back there. I've gone on a fucking tangent, as I usually do.
Fuck's sake. I don't know
we went from post-show to you pulling your calf.
Yeah, well, I've got calves on the mind, you see.
So I take it that's you done then for the season. No more shows.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't close enough. Maybe if I was like really close, like Greg, then I'd go and be like, it's too close.
How do you feel about your improvements in placing at Arnold, obviously coming back from the graftism? Because I mean, you were kind of not even wanting to do the Arnold for a good bit. You kind of turned that around, and obviously you came back with a better look.
Yeah, it was the graftism was always, it was Amp's kind of idea. He was like, fuck the graftism, we'll like just go in whatever. And I thought I was ready for that mentally, but I've never done that. I've always come in 100, and I thought I was ready for it, but I did so shit. Like I at the point where I was like, well, just come in like heavy. But the point where you're just about to get shredded is the time probably when you shouldn't try and carb up. So I tried to carb up and drop like 12 pounds, just ended up looking like a sniper's elbow. And it just all went fucking wrong. So I was just like, I knew it was going to be off. And then I felt off about it for a bit because I did so shit. So maybe I'm just arrogant. I expected to be like not bum fuck nowhere. which is my own fault, really. And then Amph was just like, no, that was actually the plan. I just emotionally wasn't like really ready for it. But yeah, and then I just did what I did, finish the plan, which was the plan, and it turned out like all right. So I think there was some improvements from the last showing, and as long as I'm still improving, then I can still do this thing that I love. And so the takeaway is actually a joyous one for me, because I'm not done yet. So for me, that's a win. There's still life in this old fucker yet if I can make progress. I don't want to be that guy in the gym that's still, doing the sups and banging his head and getting worse or stagnating. So as long as I can get even just a bit better, then I'll still keep turning up, and then hopefully enough time pass, it'll be my turn.
We'll go to the youngest, I think, Josh. What's your plans now? I don't know. How old are you?
I'm 30 this year.
Oh, I'm the youngest.
Oh,
wait, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Ah, I'm the fucking youngest. Right.
Well, how old are you then, Andy?
I'm 29.
Shit.
Hard paper now.
I've got boxer shorts older than you.
I can't believe that.
So, Josh, what's your plans now?
Bit of downtime, bit of reflection. Me and Luce are away next week for a few days. I'm going to take that time, and then when I come back, I would have made a decision on what we're doing. There are a few options. Obviously, Denmark is a very popular one that everyone talks about at the minute. Mm-hmm. Greg's announced this week that he'll be doing it, so I might be going to see Greg in Denmark. But other than that, there's a few other little different possibilities, but travel being one of the biggest things that is going to impede whether it is a go-ahead or not with vaccinations and whatnot.
Is everyone double jabbed? I know it's a personal choice, you don't have to say, but everyone double jabbed for travel?
Nope.
I mean, I had toyed with the idea of going somewhere, but that was like I didn't need much convincing to not do it. But that was,
as far as I'm aware, most places is a negative test is enough.
Yeah, negative PCRs are all right. I mean, Phoebes went to Norway, which was 2 weeks before the same weekend as the PCA Midlands, so 2 weeks before the Arnolds, and she just had a negative PCR. She didn't.
I think the way that they come about it is they're trying to almost not scare you, but I think they're not wanting to promote travel. So as much as they say you need to be double jabbed, it's like you will get to go with a PCR. And obviously, if you done what I've done and contact Ian and Two Bros, they will write you out a special invite, and it does go past the bylaws of you are there for essentially your business, your job. Like the class you as a professional athlete, 'cause it's a professional federation and show. So if you're invited to be there, it's like you're going there for a job. That's what I read from the invitation letter anyway.
I'm going to double jab because we're going to Dubai for Christmas, so I just thought, fuck it, just get it done, and I just can't be arsed with fucking trying to.
Did you have it done? Did you have it done before you prepped, Andy?
I got it. I got the first jab done. There's an 8-week gap, and then my second jab was 2 weeks out.
How did you feel?
The first one, didn't notice it at all. See the second one, like faint. I've never had the flu, so I'm guessing that's what the flu is like. I had to stop every 2 minutes. I done a YouTube video 5 days out, a back video, and you can see me just doing warm-ups at the start of the video. I can't breathe. I couldn't breathe until about 2 days out from the Arnold. So it's fucking poison, mate. Like, but the thing is,
like, actually getting the virus, so it's like a small dose of the virus.
The thing is, like, I just got it done off on it. My thinking is, it's shite that the government are putting in all this kind of like restrictions and stuff, and eventually this, whatever, if you do and don't have it. But I'd rather have 100% freedom and 5 years off my life down the line and live my life now. That's the way I see it. But I do agree with people that say it's a bit scary when, like, You know, the amount of people that feel fucking horrendous after it and that. So, but I just got it done. But I feel okay now. So
yeah, I'm not like an anti-vaxxer or anything. Like, and I think, yeah, you know, like it is like choice. I think if the vaccine, it doesn't protect anyone else. Like if it was protecting someone else, then I'd do it for the good of the herd, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not like not getting it. I just have fucked up the timing. I don't really. I had COVID. It was pretty shit, to be fair. But you know, some people are getting like proper fucked. But I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, I'm not. Me and Phoebe spoke yesterday about potentially going away, like you, Andy, at Christmas. I were up at fucking 2:30 last night looking at holidays because, you know, it's like you can't sleep. So I've thought about it just for like not having the stress of fucking having to get PCR tests.
If it's still going like the same way it is this now, I mean, like I'm away in Mexico in April, and if it's still going like this and still trying to fucking promote it and do all this kind of shit, I'll just get it.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to get it in prep because I didn't want to hinder that at all.
That's exactly my thought. I've got my mate's wedding in April in France next year, so we're away for like 5 days for that. So it might be just a case of just fucking biting the bullet.
Yeah.
I still don't like being told what to do though.
No.
You must get this thing. Fuck you. I am the law.
Nathan, what's your plans?
So obviously, first year back after four years off was just to see where I stood against you boys. Really, obviously, I was happy with my package that I brought to the Arnolds. Happy condition, presentation wise. It's just evident that I just need to be at 6'3". I just need more density everywhere, especially in my upper. And you've got people around you close saying, "Oh, you should have done this. You should have placed better." And I said, "Like, I'm not fucking deluded. I should have placed where I placed, and there's a reason I placed there. I cannot warrant sort of considering myself a pro standard physique or professional bodybuilder when I've not lived like a professional bodybuilder for long enough yet. I've lived the life for 2 years maybe since I've been with Josh. Before that, I lived like an amateur bodybuilder. So that's why I've got an amateur upper body. Yeah, I've got a nice shape. I've got a nice structure. I just need to build more muscle. So I qualified for the British finals, PCA finals, which is next weekend. But Phoebes had already booked Budapest, regardless whether she won a pro card at the Arnolds or whether she was going to have another crack at a pro qualifier, which is the same weekend. And we've dieted for 20 weeks together. I didn't want to be stuck in fucking Birmingham on my own. She didn't want to be stuck in Budapest on her own. So we've decided to end the season together. I'm going to be competing. I would have been competing anyway, so I'm just going to jump in that just for some more experience.
So what show is the Budapest show?
Fit Parade, Hungary.
Right, yeah.
So I think it's like there's an expo on and everything. So I think it's very similar to like the Arnold Classic UK, but like Hungary's very
skill.
Yeah.
What is there pro cards and everything available for that? Or?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a weird setup. It's like the regional and the pro qualifiers are on the same day. So
that's class.
Yeah. So the guys. Obviously, we've already qualified because
we need to bring that here, too, bros.
Yeah, so literally, like the men on the Saturday, the show starts at 9 o'clock. The classes do the regionals. It like finishes at 1 o'clock. Then the pro qualifier shows start at like 2 o'clock, something like that in the afternoon. And then it's same format for females on Sunday. Then they have a pro show Sunday night.
Is Phoebe's going for her pro one?
Yeah, so obviously she's because we've already qualified because we've done regionals in his own country. You just straight into pro qualifier.
Yeah, I thought
the PCA. That was like I don't know of who's coming through to do bodybuilding, especially the class ones anyway for the PCA. So I thought that was going to be yours. You'd be the front runner for that, but No, it makes far more sense, obviously, tying in with business and that. So that's class.
And the overall goal is IFBB Pro status, like within the next 24 months for me. Like, I'm 33 now. I mean, I didn't start competing until I was 27. So I still feel like I've got my best sort of 3 to 5 years in front of me. So I still feel fresh.
Yeah.
So the goal would be the next couple of years to be really banging on the door. So we'll get this one out of the way.
I still think there's a training window. I still think there's a training age. I don't know. I'm a late starter. I'm 37, so I'm the oldest. I'm still making progress, and I do see some people that started earlier that burn out within their window. I think as long as you feel good and you feel young, I think the training age window is a thing. I'm not saying what's the usual reason that people go downhill, like when they're younger physically, is hormones. Now we've got some hormones that we can obtain, like to level that out. I think there is a window thing. I mean, genetically, obviously, the size of your window is kind of limited. And if you're a genetic freak, you don't need to use all of it anyway. Like Samson, who's been training like 4 years or something. But yeah, man, you've got loads of time.
Yeah, so it's exciting, and it'd be just nice. We fly on Wednesday. Phoebes has already looked at a fucking hop on, hop off bus tour Thursday. So we get to see a little bit of Budapest. Register. We've booked in for a massage as well with that moniker. I'll compete Saturday. She'll compete Sunday. Watch the pro show Sunday night. I don't think we fly back till like Monday evening, so we can go out some food Sunday night and spend a bit of time in Budapest Monday. So it'd be a nice end to the season, really.
That sounds good. That
sounds like a weekend, mate.
Yeah.
All right, the champ UK fucking Arnold 2021. Tell everybody what you're doing.
For me, it was just far too close to kind of leave it there. I mean, spoke to a couple of people that were with the judging panel, and they just said it was like 2-2 with the judges, and Steve Weinberger made the split decision. So after hearing that, and just like a lot of people say, like how close, how they probably thought I actually won the overall. It's just something I can't leave. I could have done the Hungary show, but Ian and AJ took me backstage and they said, "Could you please do the Denmark show?" So they want to keep it within 2 hours. Like to see you there. So as much as like sick, like when I got off stage and like they said that it was like 6 weeks away, I was like, that's not long. Fucking a couple of weeks in, like a couple of days in the diet, and I'm like, fuck me, 6 weeks is a long time. No, I'm just going to grind it out. But I mean, like even like just 4 days back on plan with Jamie, like my physique's changed massively. The amount of level of details, like I've actually sucked in and lost like that kind of over bloated look, and it's just I actually look better than I did coming into the Arnold. So I'm very excited to see with more time with Jamie, which is something I actually want to see more than anything, because what we're supposed to do in like 8 days, I'm just quite excited to see what we can do 6 weeks. I mean, he's got a plan, so it'd be very good just to execute. And then to me, I want to walk away with the 2 wins, like obviously the Arnold and the Amateur Olympia. It's like the 2 best amateur wins you can pretty much get. So if I can walk away with those 2 and my pro card in this year, I'll be a very, very happy man. As much as I'm struggling and low energy and it's another 6 weeks grind, I mean, I'm just too close to kind of stop now. I mean, what's 6 weeks on top of anything? It's not long.
I can tell, mate, that you're lower energy already, because you just sent back like emojis rather than actually saying anything. I was like, I'll just leave them alone, I think. But I think, mate, I'm sick of people asking me, but people want to know why you went to Jamie Dorego, and I think the podcast is probably a good platform for you to let people know.
I mean, I said on my story, I mean, I don't really want to put any bad words across anybody, because I don't have bad words. I mean, like I've stated this many a times, Jordan's probably one of the greatest minds in the bodybuilding industry. I mean, his knowledge and his experience and everything's amazing, but he's just such a fucking busy guy. It's ridiculous. Like the businesses he's got, everything he does in a day. locked in his own training, the output he puts out across on his website. It's just a lot. And when he put out the statement saying he was getting rid of all coaching clients, it was like, it just like writed out to me, like, obviously he wasn't giving me as much time as he probably did in the previous months.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I was getting 12 hours to get a text back from a check-in. And like when you're in peak week, like you just can't do that. You need to know things. You need to know if there's changes being made. Like if I'm not happy with something, I need something quicker than 12 hours. So it was just obviously when wanting to get rid of clients, I thought I'd be as well just leave. And I've gotten well with Jamie for years. Every single client I see he puts on to a stage is just absolutely peeled out their mind. He always brings in a very good package. I get on well with Jamie, so it was literally just a message, and within half an hour he had a different plan back to me, and it was spot on, and we made amazing changes in 8 days. I mean, I could have went to many people, but it was just because I had such a good relationship with Jamie. It was just a simple text, and he was more than happy to take me on board.
Yeah.
There's not many people would take on anybody 8 days out. I mean, what coach would want that on their thing? If it didn't turn out that well, then it's going to look bad on them. But he said, like, you're fucking peeled, you're stage ready. I can just peak you amazingly, and we'll do what needs to be done. So it was a simple. I've got no hard feelings towards Jordan. He's just far too busy, and I just needed a little bit more in that week. And I'm so glad I went to Jamie, and I've left on good terms with Jordan. He actually sent me a message on the day saying, congrats, I thoroughly deserved it. I look great, and hope you. And he just says, I hope you go on to do another show this year to get your pro card.
No, it's fair enough. So, people are saying to me like, "Oh, what's happening here? What's happening there?" I was like, "Just fucking ask Greg. Why are you asking me?" I think they're all just too scared of you.
Yeah.
I
tell you what, he's had a fucking successful year, Jamie, with his clients. Such as I don't think there's been a more successful coach in terms of
so many pro card wins, everything.
Yeah, so many pro cards. Greg, if you don't mind, sort of delving a little bit, as food sources changed. Obviously, you're doing your own training, because I know Jamie's very sort of high volume, drop set, superset. Yeah. Whereas I know that you are quite married to the training system that you're currently doing, and you like lifting heavy shit.
To be honest, like my training setup that I just wrote, I mean, I wrote it and I sent it to like a few people, and they all wrote back and goes, "You're fucking insane." And when you're looking at it, like you're looking at an off-season, like, I can't fucking wait for this. But like now that I've done every one this week, I've had to change a good bit of like decrease volume, because there's a lot of like drop sets, failure sets, like rest pauses. And what I've done is pretty much keep like my first set is going to be the heavy all-out set, which a lot of people see. But then I've tried to keep either 1 to 2 sets after that will be just like a deload or like some sort of intensifier set, which is kind of suited Jamie because he wanted a bit more volume towards my workouts. He was like more, don't do anything less than like 3 sets. And we went back and forth. I was like, the intensity I put into like my main heavy sets, like I don't have 3 sets in me. So I'll try and make like the sets after that like a lot more volume. And I sent him the updated plan back, and he was more than happy with that setup. And now running it for a week, I've made a few tweaks, and like I've actually like really enjoyed it. It's been probably the best training program I've done, and just like by doing a few of them, I think it's going to make massive progress. So it's very good. But in terms of Jamie's nutrition, like when he says to people, I just keep stuff basic and simple. Like you all said, oh, every coach says that, but honestly, it literally is. It's so fucking simple, basic. He doesn't do protein powders. He doesn't do anything like that. It's literally all meats. If you've got probably carbs in a meal, he won't put fats in a meal. If there's no carbs in a meal, he'll put fats in a meal. It's fucking simple, basic stuff, but it just works amazingly.
Yeah. That's, the basic shit works. I've done the same. You know what it's like on prep. Fucking, I bet each of us have fucking wrote a different training plan out, or a different diet for his off season, or a different drug protocol for his off season. Cause you just got that much time, and your mind's thinking all the time. But I've sent Josh my new training split that I'd wrote out for off season. Mine's a very similar sort of setup, like a loading set, and then the back off set's like a rest pause set, or a cluster set, or a triple drop set, something, some type of intensifier on the main compound sort of stuff, and then on your sort of isolation stuff, there's a little bit more volume work in there. But I'm excited to get cracking with that. I've done my first rotation this week and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's setup was great. I think it was just a touch too little for me, and I needed like a little bit more chest work, probably like another extra exercise for chest. My back day, I felt like I needed more exercises than just like the posterior load for the thickness. Like I felt like my back could do with a little bit more detail width. So I've got posterior day, which is going to isolate my hams away from leg day and put it into that day, and also like my back thickness. And I've got an actual back width and detail day now. And then my leg day is like one hamstring exercise, and the rest is like all quad and like volume work as well. So the way I've structured it is like I'm really enjoying the way it's done, and I can still get everything in within a week.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna share my screen, Greg, and show everyone your training plan.
Well, it's actually changed quite a lot. So.
What did we all think of the Arnold UK then? Because it was the first one.
You haven't been yet, Andy.
Whatnot.
You haven't told us what you're doing yet, Andy.
Yeah, come on, Andy.
All right. I'm locked in for the Arnold next year.
You've already picked one for next year. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
22nd and 25th, they've put it out, haven't they, already?
Yeah. So my one of my clients has already fucking booked his hotels and shit and like to come watch, but
No way.
aye. The guy that filmed my posing routine, Kieran, he's already booked all his stuff. So I see when I started the prep, I said Arnold Classic, when that's done, that's me done. And you know, when you have that in your head, that obviously we've all competed a billion times, like that, once that's solidified in your head, 9 times out of 10, that's it, that's you done mentally. So I toyed with that idea of jumping in. What was that?
I said the same.
Aye. Exactly. You're the 1 out of 10. So I toyed with that idea, honestly, because Patrick's put me on quite a lot of food and quite a lot of carbs and fats and stuff, and the whole cliche, I look fucking 10 times better now, and it's so gutting. So was it Thursday? No, Wednesday, I went and got physio done. I hit a side chest in the physio, and I was like, I wasn't happy. I was fucking raging at how I looked, because I was like, why couldn't I have looked like this on Saturday? But that's so cliche. We've all been there. And we've been there with clients and all that as well. Like, oh, like why don't we eat fucking pizza the night before? And why don't I eat that? I was like, trust me, if you did that the night before, you'd be having a meltdown.
I did basically that.
Apart from Dan.
I ate McDonald's on show day.
For the Arnold stuff.
You're just fucking shooting me down.
I had a 5 guys the night before.
Yeah, on the day I had sausage, egg, McMuffins.
Motherfucker.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry. Anyway, please continue.
I will. So I toyed with the idea of doing the pro class at the PCA British, but I've got 5 clients competing on Saturday, so I'd rather be there for them than sit there and worry all day about how I look. So I've just decided to just go straight into off season. Patrick handed me, like I said, the diet is pretty good. It's Patrick. It's all clean and shit. So I know for a fact he expects me not to be cheating and stuff. So, and the training is just push, pull, legs, arms, and it's just a Dorian setup, 1 set, couple of exercises. It's refreshing in that. I'm not by no means am I training at 100% just now. Me and my training partner Chris are still having like a blether and that in between sets and just enjoying the time, because I don't know about you lot, but I fucking hated training those between the like probably about 4 weeks out. I hated training. I hated being there. I was getting comments from like the owner and stuff saying that people were going up to him being like, what the fuck's wrong with Andy and that? He's like, oh, he just doesn't want to be here. He's just been a cunt just now. So it's good to be back in the gym and not hating it. I done arms on Saturday, and that was weird. like a fucking arm day on a Saturday. I should have went on a night out that night, but yeah, the Arnold next year. I don't know if obviously the Two Bros haven't announced anything in terms of qualifying. I don't know where they're going to stand in terms of like if you place top 3 at Arnold or whatever, you don't need to qualify. But I'm happy to do another qualifier next year. But I'll do, if Graftism or whatever's the same kind of timeline, like 4 weeks out, I'll probably I'll do that, and then I'll do the Arnold again. That's where I'm sitting just now. So
I want to do the Gypsy Camp Classic. Yeah. No graftism. Go straight to the Gypsy Camp. 2-week turnaround.
I'm not scared to offend the two bros. So yeah, do you want to talk about that?
I know that
my client did it. My client Kieran did it, and he was telling me about it, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!"
I don't get it. Like, they must have like had a mishap last minute, and they're like, "Fuck, like, don't fucking tell anybody because no one's going to turn up."
Yeah, I mean, there was lighting. It just was the sun.
Okay, I was going to say this. Imagine if it started like pissing it down.
Yeah, mate, that would have been so bad.
There was no sweating on stage.
You wouldn't have needed a pan because you could just use the mud. It would look like Glastonbury. Oh, mate. I think it was quite a strange turnaround because, I don't know, the Arnold was superbly run. Like, check-in was fucking easy. Tan, well, after Josh thankfully told me what time tanning actually was before I turned up for the 3rd time in the day to go and do it. All of that was seamless. Like, it was fantastic. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened with the Gypsy Camp Classic, but the Arnold was definitely a very different story. It was fucking clockwork.
I don't think any of us would be able to...
What was that, Josh?
No, I was going to say, I think Greg just said the same thing. I don't think any of us would be able to get on a better stage as an amateur without being a pro.
Yeah.
I don't think there's even pro stages to that level. I mean, even that was bigger stage and a bigger setup than Olympia.
The actual stage itself was just fucking massive. Like, literally massive.
Like, I've always wanted to walk on the stage, like on either side. Like, obviously, it's got the backdrop when you come in like that and you walk onto the stage. Like, that's something that everybody wants to walk on like that. You're coming from nowhere, from the back of the stage.
It was just a hell of a show to have been part of.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
I'll be the one that brings in the negativity. Like, why do federations still not have fucking mirrors backstage?
Or fucking
bodybuilding shows.
Awesome,
that was ridiculous. Like, I can't remember what PCA show it was, but it was like a fucking bedroom mirror like that, like a shaving mirror.
Yeah.
Fucking 30,000 people are all trying to use it once.
Hey, Dan, the old Napa West used to have it.
Mirrored.
Yeah, the Napa West had mirrors.
Napa West had mirrors, and it had plastic up on the walls everywhere. So you didn't get
Do you remember that? It looked like you were about to walk into a murder.
It looks like, yeah, you would be about to get like...
They'd managed to make a room in a room, like out of
plastic.
Oh, it was fuck.
I would say, though, the only bad thing I'll say about the Arnold Classic, and this is just personally from me, is obviously, like winning your class, obviously, is quite a big deal, and all you get's a medal. I thought that was quite shit. I mean, for how much they would have to pay for a trophy or something, and like only the overall guy got like a sword. When you see like the pro show, they got the Class Arnold trophies, and they had a massive food spread backstage. They had loads of tables with everything on it, and like we got nothing like that at all. I think that's like the only bad thing I would have said. I think they probably could have done a little bit better with that side of things.
Well,
I think a class win, maybe it's
trophy, like at least a little trophy or something. I mean, like what was that, 10, 20 quid?
But even the PCA are just doing medals now, aren't they?
It's weird.
Yeah, it is.
They give top 3 a trophy still.
No, they don't.
They're not.
They give them out today. There's people in to compete today.
Oh shit! No, I'm lying. Yeah, I've got a trophy. In fact, I got 2 medals and a trophy.
There you go. Someone's still on prep.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing I would have said. I think at least a class win should have got a trophy of some description. Like obviously the overall gets the sword, that's fair enough, and the pro card. But I mean, a fucking trophy for winning your class. I mean, come on, it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things.
They did look pretty sick. The pro level.
Yeah, they did. They did.
The Arnold
Last
was
one.
I
When
remember
Nathan Diaz got is fucking sick.
Yeah, it is.
I went for tanning in the evening, and I did look like go and check them out. They were, yeah.
Well, they were like crystals, weren't they?
Yeah, they were sick. I like
Did,
tanning them.
Did everyone have Nathan for the pro?
Yeah.
I also heard him from the start, but honestly, Samson must have been a fucking ball here off him. Jesus,
They were literally chalk and cheese, weren't they? Like they
really good look from him. He brought it.
Like they looked exactly the same.
They literally just posed them until one of them faded.
I couldn't honestly tell them apart. Like Samson's such a good poser, and like Nathan's done this a billion times.
I personally love Nathan's look.
He just didn't sweat. Like, how the fuck did he do about 5 rounds and he didn't have a bead of sweat on him?
Fucking work for him.
Pros, man, isn't it?
It's just that it just must come so natural to him, like how he breathes and hits the shots. And I mean, obviously it's practice, but I can't imagine Nath drilling his posing.
No, neither can I.
I can't imagine him getting up and doing like.
He's one of the most natural, gifted bodybuilders on the planet.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious.
Everything about it. Everything about he does everything is just so natural to him.
He's so chilled out with me as well.
Yeah. I mean, the guy who's done my YouTube filmed for Hostile, for the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And did his YouTube, and I was speaking to him. He said he's such a fucking chilled guy. Like he said, him and his missus are absolutely sound. Like, and I watched his YouTube, and we were like, yeah, we're going to carb up, probably go for an Indian tonight.
Yeah, I'm not watching that one. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I've already won it. I'm just gonna turn up, get it done. Probably means I'm not gonna go to the Olympia, but oh well.
I've never seen somebody more confident in themselves. Like the way he speaks, and like he's not like he's just saying it. He fucking like genuinely just like, yeah, I'm winning this. Like no bother.
That's like the new Nick Walker approach as well, isn't it? Nick Walker,
yeah.
Arnold.
That is a guy I'm so impressed with his posing presentation. I've never seen anybody walk on stage, hit a pose, and not fucking move an inch.
Yeah.
He could hold that shit all day.
I'd be cramping like fuck.
Oh, ridiculous. So good.
What were we all thinking about the Olympia then?
I'm not a Ramy fan personally.
The live feed was shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought fucking Hadi looked immense again.
Hadi should have placed second, in my opinion.
I mean, there's arguments for Hadi winning it, but it's just the sheer size of Ramy.
He's just still a 212 guy, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
When you look at the criteria, it is Ramy's win. I mean, like when you look at how small Ramy's waist got this year, his muscle he carries. He presented it well. He got better at the night show. He was hard. He was full. He was dry.
What are we saying about his quads? What are we saying about Ramy's quads? Because I keep seeing more and more shit.
They don't look as
so fucking big.
Yeah, but
trying to get the detail in there must be nuts.
I'm saying there's shit in them.
I think there is, but that's what I'm saying is I think they've managed to bring that down quite a bit.
What do you think? Do you think you'll put in SEO?
Maybe not because when he's hit, if you look right at the top next to like where his hip flexor is, it's like a bulge. It's just like random, and I'm like, that's not normal.
No,
I can't remember who it was that said it. I'm pretty sure it was Nathan that said it once. Like he injects everything into everywhere.
Yeah,
there's like
who Ramy does.
Yeah. And his quads, like loads and loads and loads.
The live feed for me made the separation between Ramy and Brandon there wasn't a lot between them. But when like Charles Lothian and all that were uploading photos, I was like, fucking hell, Brandon's nowhere near him.
No. When you see the condition, the dryness, I mean, like it's hard to be, but his legs are just so fucking big. Trying to get like the cuts and the separation, the detail, and that much muscle must be tough.
Yeah.
Two of my personal favourites to watch, and probably will be now for the future, are Nick and Hunter.
I had Nick above Hunter personally.
Yeah.
I had
I did.
just put it down. Looking, the condition wasn't close, in my opinion.
No.
Just when you go shot for shot, though.
No.
I don't
Hunter's
think-
shape's amazing. The thing that showed me about Hunter is what Fuad said was the size of him. You don't actually realize how big Hunter is, and like you stand next to Nick, who's a mass monster, and like Hunter fucking was a good bit thicker.
Yeah.
Impressive.
What about
I think Hunter compared with other years was amazing.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
thought,
For sure.
compared with that, I still think Brandon's dead from the waist down.
It is.
Like,
Improved in
I
size.
mean,
There's no
yeah.
doubt.
Whereas they look. I mean, I'm not mincing my words. It looks like they're pissed off. Like they're shallow. I mean, obviously, there's Olympia guy and being a cunt about it, but like, there's no depth to them. They look like kind of dry, but pissed off, and kind of he's so full up top, where there's no fullness in the legs. It doesn't make. I don't know whether it's his age or whatever, because it seemed to like.
I think it's one of two things in it, because Brandon is not a Mr. Olympia lower body, and personally, Rami is not a Mr. Olympia from the back. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Rami's got like the glutes are in, and then how's
Lower
the
body,
back
lower
still
body,
soft?
lower body.
How's the back still soft? And then like Rami's like lower back and stuff is still. I mean, it's not, again, like we're talking
That's like me though.
Olympia level.
Oh, we're always talking about the best of the best. They are gonna be critiqued to the highest level.
Yeah.
None of us can hold a candle to any of them, obviously.
No, man. Yeah.
You put like 20 pounds on Hadi, that's a Mr. O.
I thought Hadi looked fucking
his
mental.
legs, his dryness, it was fucking insane. 20 pounds on that would have just smoked them clean off the stage. But he's a 2-on-2 guy, oversized, trying to compete in the open.
Yeah.
It's tough. He's just not got the height.
Bonac came second. Like he's done second before, and Bonac is one of the smallest men I've ever seen in real life. He is like
oversized 2-on-2.
But he can't put any more size on. Where the fuck would it go? He's got a really short torso. Like Bonac can't really advance that. I don't know. I like Bonac over Hadi.
Yeah.
I know it's unpopular.
I think his midsection's fucked now. I think Bonac's midsection this Olympia suffered quite a lot with that extra weight that he put on.
I'm not saying this year necessarily, but just generally.
Bonac, when he won the Arnold, was fucking. He was fire.
I think
where did the Flex Lewis sit in?
I think he's at father time. I think he's got that age. It's not going to get any better for him. He's probably fighting to keep what he's got.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know when you start throwing names in like Flex and things like that? I don't think you never know until they actually fucking stood next to people.
Yeah.
You can't say.
I just think because if Flex is beating Hadi in what was 2-on-2,
but that were very controversial when he did.
It's true. I think Flex maybe about 5 years ago, if he went into the open and put on the size, I mean, it would be a fucking show to watch. I don't know if he can still do it now. How old's Flex? Late 30s?
Yeah, late 30s.
He's probably still got it. I mean, he's one of the biggest genetic freaks in the go. I can't imagine he's lost.
He's got to give it at least one go, hasn't he? He's got to give it at least.
I really do want to see him do it. Like,
yeah, 100%. What about we'll keep it British. What about James? What we all think about how James looked?
I'll express my feelings to you, Andy, about this.
What, flat? Oh no, the genetics thing.
It's the genetic thing where like he doesn't have the detailed genetics, but he's got a fucking work ethic to stick on mass, and that's what he's done. He was thick, he was big, you had a great back where like that shows from the pulls from the floor, but he just does not have the detailed muscle to put up the places like with the rest of the guys. It's just not there for him.
So like I said to you, I thought it was flat. I thought it was flat shit.
I thought upper.
I think that's just his physique.
But I thought upper was flat, and this was a problem that he had up until quite recently.
Yeah.
And then he seemed to get over it, and this for me was a relapse.
Do you remember? I don't know if you guys remember. It was the year. So Luke won his pro card in 2016, and I think that's James's worst showing ever. And when I saw him on stage at the prejudging, I kind of got like memories of that. It kind of like, I couldn't quite tell what was wrong because he's still fucking massive.
Yeah.
He still has separation, but there's just like something missing. But then when you compare him to like the British Grand Prix last year and the Spanish show that he did, that's when you see that difference in fullness. And that's what I said to you, Greg. I was like, he's, to me, he was just fucking insanely flat.
I think that's just his stage look. You see when you see him like photos in the gym where he's like that pale, dry, and it was like you can see the fucking like the hardness and dryness of the muscle with those cuts. But see when he hits a tan and the glaze and the lights hit him, it just fucks off. It's like I said, it's just his genetic look. You can't really get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's just his look. He's got a nasty, dry, white look, but when it gets tanned and glazed.
It was too tan. There were a lot of dark tans going on. Nick's tan was too dark, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For a white guy, I thought there was a lot of over tanning for the light setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, horses for courses. I'm going to lean Andy's way with this one and say I do agree that obviously there is a genetic limit, but I think he could have been a lot better in a couple of days turning it around. And we've seen a fuller looking James looking better. Not his lower body, that's kind of cool. But I watched him time when I spoke to him about this. His lower body just fades. You'd see him leading up to a show, even in person, and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, he never. And then the past couple of years, he seemed to get over it. And it was, and then that, I don't know whether it's nerves or.
What I will say is, though, if he could have the same productive off-season that he did have, he could be challenging for top 6.
Yeah. I mean, he is there. He is there. He could be there. He just needs to like kind of shine through a little bit more, in my opinion. But the mass and the thickness is there. He just needs like that, like pop. Wow.
Well, Patrick's put a post on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it, but I read it earlier, and
yeah, I saw that, blaming himself. Yeah.
Kind of like held his hands up and said like, I pushed him a little bit too hard, and we never kind of recovered his fullness because his sort of metabolism went into overdrive. And
I did wonder that, and looking at his videos, like he was dying, and he was like lots of no carb meals. You seen he was pushing, training hard. And I was like,
and he didn't. If you've watched the Redcon YouTubes, I've been I think I've finished YouTube 16.
Yeah, I've completed.
We all have.
I started watching The Crown. I'm that fucking done.
So I've watched like the Redcon videos, and even like the last meal up until like it didn't carb up hard.
No.
Like it could have fucking carved up a lot
It was
harder.
like it was just white fish and fucking green beans. It was like no fat, nothing. It was like just protein. I was like, fucking hell. A guy that size, that's brutal.
Yeah.
He knows that happens. James knows that happens.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that happens, and he knows when he pushes too hard. And there should have been a better coach communication about that, because he's been there. He's done that.
Yeah. I think it was like because it was the first one.
So I know what he does. He pulls carbs out at the end of the day, and I don't think my carb up was aggressive enough either. I did tell Patrick that.
I don't think it were, Andy.
Yeah, it's this was one of those things because Patrick, I said to him after the bodies, I told you this, Greg, because you said it as well. At bodies, I was nowhere near full at all. No. I was 244. So you can imagine when I checked in, when I registered for the show at the Arnold, I was 237, and I was like, "Fuck, that's half a stone off. This isn't right." And then I'd already told Patrick I'm fucking starving. I was still struggling to tense my legs and whatnot, and I don't know. Looking back, don't get me wrong, I did like how I looked on stage. I did really like most shots, but now, like I said at the start of the podcast, with the food he's got me on now, I'm like, this is what I should have looked like. I know it's cliche, and as a coach, when a client says that to me, I'm like, right,
yeah,
you know why you look like that. You've been binging for 3 days of a depleted physique. But yeah, my carb up was not aggressive in the slightest. And Patrick's caption of that post that he put up was just like, my training partner just texted me there. He was like, that's a carbon copy of what you were saying about what had happened to you at the Arnold. And yeah, I mean, I didn't need.
I think he's just playing a very safe game.
Yeah, he did. I get that. I totally understand why he did it. And obviously,
do you know what this is? This is bodybuilding, though. Like, especially Sergio Oliva put a post on after the Ohio Arnolds, and we all go through the process of a fucking 18-month off season into a prep. Like, we live the life. We are bodybuilders, and we can do the training, we can do the diet, we can do the cardio, we can get into those fucking depths and dig deep. The hardest thing is bringing the look that you want to bring to stage. Those last sort of 24, 36, 48 hours when
I want to pull back a little bit.
Yeah, that's what being a professional is all about. And having the right sort of coach client relationship to bring the best package to stage, because that is the hard. That's why, Greg, I take my hat off to you and Jamie. I thought you brought such a fucking polished look to stage. You was dry, you was hard. I don't think you could have been any fucking fuller.
Yeah,
with 8 days.
Yeah, in 8 days.
Say, like, honestly, hand on heart, I would say I was about 80-85% full, but that's what Jamie wanted. He didn't want. Jamie doesn't push fullness. It was literally like, we want to be about 80, but then we're going to fucking suck you down dry and like shrink wrap you. And that's like how I looked so full, because it just sucked right round the muscle, and I looked incredibly full and hard. I could have pushed a little bit further, but then I didn't need to. There was no point in just pushing that stress. But I mean, that's like Jamie. That's what I knew Jamie was good at, and that's why I contacted Jamie. Yeah, I knew his peaking protocols are really good, and he just doesn't like overly do clients in that sense. He just knows how to. But I just knew how precise he is with each client. He was literally on my ass every hour, like, send me fucking photos, like, get good lighting. How do you feel? Digest, how's that food sitting? You should do this, should do that. How much water you had? It was literally like everything in the hour. He was like, okay, then we'll do this for the next meal. It wasn't like, this is your plan for the day. He's like, this is your next meal. And it was that like good hour to hour.
Yeah.
Even like when I was backstage, like Jace was video calling him because he was at the booth, and he was like, right, okay, I'm gonna come and see you. He was running backstage. He was like, right, spot on, don't fucking eat anything, don't do this, don't do that, you're gonna peak perfectly. And it worked, and that's how I knew Jamie was going to do the best job for me. But I mean, like, going back to Patrick, the thing I would say is his show pony was Ian, because Ian's had 3 or 4 shows this year, so they've worked out the recipe for him. And like, you look at his photos of his, he posted earlier, like his 3 shows of his side tricep. Every single one was exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
They all looked identical. He nailed every single one. Whereas James was probably saying, I want to be fucking diced, shredded. And they got that, but they had no recipe for how to get them peaked perfectly. And I think that's where it went wrong. I mean, the one show of the year, they didn't have a second backup to try it again.
Yeah.
You probably could have done better with you, Andy, to be honest, because obviously you done that show. You felt like they made a mistake. You just could have obviously worked it out for the Arnold a bit better.
Yeah. I mean, like
I said with Patrick.
I'll be taking photos tomorrow. I'll send you them tomorrow. But I like Nathan. You were at the PCA British when I won the overall, weren't you?
Yeah.
So that look is I wasn't as shredded as I was at the Arnold, but that looks like my fullest look that I've ever brought. And for that, so that was a Sunday show. So I had a 5 guys on the Saturday a week prior, and then Nick Vandal had me do 1,500 gram of carbs from Sunday to Wednesday, and then I didn't train Thursday, Friday, Saturday on 1,000 gram of carbs to get that look.
Wow.
And then if I compare that to,
that sounds fucking heaven right now.
That sounds ridiculous.
It was fucking hell towards the end. And actually, I think it was a bit more than that on the Saturday, because I turned around to Nick and I was like, I'm still not full. And Nick was like, what are you thinking then? I was like, probably another 700 on top of this. And he's like, fuck it, do it. So that's the kind of protocol I was using all year. I backloaded that whole year, 2019. But the PCA was the British was the most aggressive one out of all the shows I did that year. And still, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's obviously the way I hit the most muscular. You can see, like, you can get your fucking fingers into like the separation of my quads. And leading up to that show, like my legs just weren't there. You can see it in my shots. Now, looking back, I was looking at my Instagram earlier. It's the shots that I took in the doorway at my Airbnb, and I was just like, my legs just aren't fucking there at all. And but you know, you're paying one of the top coaches in the world a lot of money. You do everything to the T. You just listen. So obviously you live and learn. But I'm still happy with how I looked. But it just
it's all data, isn't it? It's all data. It's all feedback to go again.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I'm happy that I probably wouldn't have done 4 shows if I'd not been out of action for so long. But we've been able to try out a few different protocols and sort of see what we can do. So I think this is probably going to be the best one. I think this is going to be the most aggressive carb up as well. Mm-hmm. Which I'm fucking looking forward to because I'm fucking on my arse at the minute. But yeah, exciting.
So Greg, Nathan, Josh, you're all fucking dying. Would you say?
A response at it all.
I'm still following a plan.
Aye, Five Guys burger menu.
I'm gonna.
If it's in your plan, fuck it.
Aye, that's it.
I always struggle on rest days, which is tomorrow.
See, my rest days, I have the same food as my training days, but I always drop weight. I think once I have like that much food, all the fatigue of the training drops off. Like literally every rest day, I'll drop about 5 kilos, and my diet doesn't change. 5 kilos, half a kilo every time.
I was like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck? Only, no, I'll drop like half a kilo, like very, like, just my weight will stay the same. And every time I have a rest day, the day after, I'll drop about half a kilo.
Yeah.
When I'm in that phase, I just start plummeting.
Yeah.
I don't even need to eat less on rest days or anything like that. It's like my body goes, oh, we're losing weight. I can definitely do that. I can make you look like an AIDS patient in like real fast. Okay, like I got you, bro. Like it's once I hit that thing, I have to eat a lot of food. Depletion training is just I don't do a refeed. Like I just once I'm in that actual like place, like yeah, it doesn't really change. But talking about the preps and like data, it is all data, but I mean, I don't know. I look back at a show I did 10 years, so I got 10 years of shows or whatever. They're all fucking different.
Yeah.
Like, not loads different. I do an early load. So like I'll load for like 2 or 3 days and then have 2 days to like play with just in case it's spilt or gone too far and like mess around. This time it didn't really play. So I did 3 load days and 1 play day. Instead, and still didn't spill, like really, and then had the McDonald's on the morning, which we hadn't done before, but it came out all right. The only thing I got Amph obviously is my guy. We're into the same sort of stuff, trains similar to Andy and the thing. The diet's a little kind of like super simple, but having a coach is really useful that's on, and so I get why Greg would want to move. Like Amph was there when I was there. And I'd hurt my back on the Friday watching Alice. And just from standing around, you know, like the day, I can't stand around for hours and hours and hours. My back locks up as fuck. So I was literally in the fucking toilets with Amph. Like we're both locked in the disabled toilets, people like banging on the door. I'm like, I can't feel my abs. It's fucked. Like literally about to walk out the door and he just goes, oh man. Like just fucking when you hit the ab shot, just fucking move out of it like straight away into the side. And that's what one of them shots is I shared. You never see a man move faster out of a fucking ab shot than I did on that show, because I couldn't fucking feel it. It was like something in my back had gone in the thrusters and I couldn't feel it. And I was almost fucking in tears, almost just left. And Amph was like, "You're fucking leaving now, man. Fucking you're fucking looking at fucking 5 months in your pants and you're fucking leaving." I was like, "Oh, sorry, sir."
He went good now, though?
Am I all right now? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels right now, and the connection's like back, which is annoying. But it just meant like I couldn't really feel my midsection. So I was fucked off because my midsection control at Grafters, even though it was shit, like was good. And then this one, it wasn't. So I don't know, like everyone's got a story about the show of like a thing. It's like, there's always something. There's always something where you're like, oh.
It never goes perfect, does it? Never.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, bollocks. I thought I was going to, like, there's always a regret or something or like, or whatever. Even if you win, there's always something. Oh, but you know, because it's a personal thing. Like, I mean, I don't know. Greg sat there like, "Nah, fuck you. I fucking nailed it. I'm the boss." Like, but
the only thing that turned out great that weekend was when I got it on the day. But everything from like 4 days prior up to that time was fucking horseshit for me. Everything went wrong. Fucking everything.
There is always something. Do you think there are people that are just like, yeah, everything, and I did the thing. And Nathan, yeah, I went and ate curry and did fuck all, and now I'm amazing.
Got to sit with Ronnie Coleman, got my trophy and fucked off.
I've always said that about you, Greg. There's always something fucking goes wrong when you on your show day or the days before.
Mate, fucking flight was delayed. Supposedly, when I paid £150 for my rental car, didn't have the booking, had to pay for it again. Turned up to the hotel, reservation wasn't there. Took fucking ages to find it, didn't have a room. Next day, the Airbnb, can't remember what the fuck happened there. There was something. Had to go to a massage. Sat there at 9 o'clock at night. Lady didn't turn up till 10:30. Didn't get home till 12. Fucking, I was just absolutely shattered. I had to drive into fucking Birmingham at 4 a.m. to go see Jamie. It was just like everything was fucking just exhausting and just tired until like the day I turned up in the hotel room and I hit a shot and it just, everything was perfect. And then got to the show. Obviously, everyone went to plan there, but up until like then, it was just a disaster.
Yeah.
I was actually at a point, I was actually in tears in the car, like thinking, this is a fucking disaster. I'll waste of a prep. And she was like sitting next to me, like worrying about me because we have like a mental breakdown.
I do like how like every time I do it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it, and then I'm just gonna lie down. You know, I just lie down, chill out. You know, it's gonna be fine. It's never fucking happens. Never happens. So I'll go and watch Alice for a minute, and then I'll come back. It'll be fine. And it's always rushing around like a cunt. I don't know what it is. You always think you've planned it. However well you've planned it, you still fucked it up. I always fuck it. And I'm running around at like fucking 3 a.m. trying to sort out some shit I haven't got, or drop my diazide down the toilet or something. I don't know. And then you're like, cool. Well, I'll get to bed now. And then ping, it's 4 a.m. Oh, I didn't need sleep anyway. Fuck it.
Can't sleep.
Mine was class. I had a cottage just outside Coventry.
You were chilled.
Yeah.
You were mega chilled.
I know. It was fun class. It was like the owner of the Airbnb lived across the fucking courtyard in his mansion. She had like 2 of these fucking like huge Labradors. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was quiet. I went in, mate. I opened the fucking doors. I can't be arsed doing the show now. I'm just gonna stay here and chill. It's fucking class. My mum and dad came down and like I always fall out with my mum. Every time I spend time with my mum, I always fall out with her. It's always a huge argument at some point. Someone storms off or whatever. But even she was like pure chilled. I spent all Saturday night after the show just sitting with mum watching TV. I haven't done that ever in my entire life. Everything ran perfectly except the placing. So I'm just the opposite of you, Greg.
Yeah, you need to do a stress protocol.
I know. I need to fucking. You need
stress protocol. You need cortisol, loads of cortisol, loads of stress. So your mum and dad came to watch and that. Does anyone else's like parents come and watch and things like that?
My dad would never go to a bodybuilding show.
What, he'd just be like, silly pants.
They have done in the past. My dad loves it, but their dog sitter. Their dog sitter now.
That's their job. So, yeah, I couldn't leave my dog with my ma. She'd fucking shit herself.
What I always look forward to the day after the show, Josh's walks and talks. Josh always goes for cardio the morning after. He always does a big long chat about the show, and I always love watching it.
Always, mate. It's part of the routine.
I know.
I also can't sleep straight after. My sleep is just fucked up. I got sleep apnea as well. So like, even on the lead up to shows, if I can get, I don't know, if I get 5 hours, that's really good.
I'm the same.
And then
it's horrendous at the moment.
Post show, you're then like full of joy, excitement, all of the emotions from being at the show, and you got all your sort of plans on what you want to do and what you think of doing, and then that makes you not be able to sleep.
Yeah. I woke up last night, so I'm fucking 8:10. I'm usually in bed now. I've had my last meal and I'm in bed. But like last night, I woke up thinking I'd been asleep for like all night, and it was quarter to 11.
That's what I do every night. I wake up like 10:30 thinking, fuck, it must be like 4 a.m. Nope.
Yeah.
And you also feel like randomly quite good as well. So you're like, I think I've had quite a good sleep. And no, it's not. It's just been an hour.
You drop back off for 15 minutes, wake up again and feel like fucking death.
And then go piss. And then go piss again.
Yeah.
And go piss again.
I watched the Tyson Fury fight this morning though, so I'd done 2 diet plans and 2 training plans by fucking 5:15 and watched Tyson Fury.
I've just started going to Pure to do my cardio because I can't be asked for the treadmill, and I'd have to wait till like at least 7:30 now to do 4s outside. So I just go to Pure, I'll do my ab work, I'll do my cardio, and I'll do posing, and then I'll head home on my first meal by 6. So it's just a better fucking routine now instead of sitting waiting about.
Yeah, I started towards the end of that prep, I started getting up, and rather than getting Reagan up doing photos and then immediately doing cardio, I would get up, I would then just like tinker about the house, do what I need to do. I'd then meal prep, and then I would do abs, and then I'd stretch, and then I'd do cardio. So by the time I'd done cardio, it was about like 5:45. By the time you then cooked your first meal, slowly eating your meal, it's then about 6:45, showered 7. So that really helped, because I've still got insomnia from the prep. My sleep's been fucking horrific. But yeah, my insomnia is really, really bad on prep. So that helped me massively. Just basically fasting. I remember I watched Rob Taylor's videos, and he was talking about like creating that demand in the morning for the food. And I was like, it's actually quite a good idea. Actually, I'm going to try that. And it's a bit daunting to think that when you go to bed at night, that you've got to then wake up and spend 3 hours not eating. But when you've actually woken up and you're doing your 3-hour stint fasted, you kind of feel you've got a big chunk of the day gone and you've still not eaten yet. So it set me up, and I'm still doing it now. I'm going to keep doing that in my off season, getting up at 4, and then just.
We'll see how long that lasts.
No, yeah, I'm up at 4 anyway. That's always been my time I get up. So yeah, whether or not it's faster or not, we'll see. But
I've found. I mean, I've never been someone who can wake up and eat immediately. Anyway, I can feel it hit my stomach. My stomach's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I've never. Some people can just get up and just start inhaling food. I've never been like that as well. So I'm always 2 hours like from getting up to let everything like settle. I mean, your liver releases glucose for that survival period anyway. Like, your body's not used to actually just being like, oh, there's food in the fridge. There's an animal, obviously, it knows you've usually got to do some work to like obtain this food. So you're not going to like wither away, which is what everyone thinks is going to happen. But yeah, I've never been able to wake up and eat straight away. It feels like I'm going to, I don't know where anyone's got it. Sometimes you eat chips and you swallow them, and somehow they've gone like it feels like they've gone into your lungs, and you're like, and it like feels like it's gone down the wrong way, and you're like, oh god, no, this is definitely the one. It might not be chips, maybe it's something else. No, just me then. Okay.
You've been eating too much post show, Dan.
You know, I no one's eating something. It feels like it goes the wrong way and it hurts your esophagus. Never.
Yeah.
Just me then. All right. Well, that's what it feels like to me.
I always have to do a little bit of fasting, but I think that's just routine now. Especially since having Narnia, I get up and even in off season, it'll be.
You say when I've been in Narnia?
No, since we've had Arnie.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
So I literally get up, have a coffee, take the dog for a walk, or do my cardio, and then you've kind of created that demand. So you've been up an hour or so anyway. So
my meal one would have to be the easiest. Like in off season, like because I like just no stress, there's no thought of cardio or prep or anything like that. I could literally get up and eat about 2,000 calories of clean food. Like the second I get up, no problem at all. It's always my easiest meals. Right now I'm like starving, but like I try and create, like you guys are saying, like demand. I'm easy like a good 2 hours before I get the meal in, but by that point I'm just starving. I don't think I could go any longer.
Yeah, that's interesting how everyone's different. I literally couldn't. I've never been able to do it. I feel like my pH is off in my stomach. Just got to let everything settle. But then I am an older gentleman.
That's true.
Do you have like a health shake or anything in the morning, Dan? Like aloe vera and digestive enzyme?
Fucking health shake. No, like I do digestive enzymes if I'm having issues, but taking loads of digestive enzymes when there's no need just creates mild blood poisoning. So I try and stay away from that. So no, basically, it's the short answer. I'm sorry.
I mean, not that I do. I mean, all I'll do is I'll have a Hydromax with glutamine and something like that, just to get hydrated. But since having that fierce from Raw, fucking hell, my heartburn. I used to get heartburn really bad. I used to have them omeprazole, what you give your dog, Dan.
Yeah, you commented on that, thinking it was
for me. You know, like, yes, omeprazole. You're like, yeah, they're not for me, mate. They're for the dog. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so
they're 10 times more expensive for the dog. That's what I do know.
I was nailing them like fucking Smarties, and since I've used the Fierce morning shake from Raw, fucking nothing. Like it's literally stopped my heartburn and my acid reflux like that within 2 weeks.
The only thing I say about it is the spiciness of it. It gets me. If you get a bit of the clump in your throat, you just cough and cough. It's so spicy.
That's the acid.
The rest of it tastes great.
That's got to be the apple cider vinegar in it, because that's just.
It's not. I don't know what it is, but there's like bits that sit at the bottom. If you get one of those bits in your throat, it's just like the spiciest fucking shit.
What is it, like pepper extracts or something weird?
Yeah,
it's possibly, but it's so fucking spicy. There's like tiny little bits that will float about. Kind of wanted to let it sit on the bottom and then drink it. You don't keep shaking it every time. You keep doing that and get it. It's like fuck it. You just like start coughing like you've got a tram cough or something.
First I've heard of a shake being spicy.
Spicy shit.
Honestly, but you know what? It tastes fantastic, but it's like when you get that little bit, there's like a little bit of spice to it. It's like peppery, and it just fucking hits the back of your throat, and it's like trends wanting to kill you.
I know the thing. I've experienced a similar thing with some other products. I think I know the spice you mean.
Do you not get it in?
Is it like capsicum or something?
Atomic
like
Bomb. Yeah, a spicy bit in it.
Yeah, there is some spice in there for sure.
That's it. That's like just times 10.
I know the spice you mean. CV Burn used to have it as well.
I don't know what it is, but there's something.
Like, see, when you were when I was coaching you, did I give you the morning shake that I do, like the homemade one?
Yeah, the apple cider, lemon juice, salt, warm water.
Then like put baking soda in with that as well, sea salt. What else?
This has pretty much got like all that in it, but it's like all the taste of berries.
Is it kind of just like how that tastes?
Yeah, it's literally like glutamine, apple cider vinegar, like lemon pepper extract, aloe vera.
It's like everything, but it's it's a probiotic as well.
Yeah, probiotic, alpha GPC. It's got fucking loads of stuff in it.
Because I've got I've got a digestive aid that I give some clients, and it sounds what you're describing. It sounds like that. So.
Yeah. It is like, honestly, it's like fantastic product. Like it sells out all the fucking time. Boy can't keep enough of it on the shelves. But yeah, there's just like a little bit of spice to it that gets you a little kick in the throat.
It used to clumps in the throat, mate. So
you pretty much sold it to me, really. Get to play fucking clump roulette.
Wake everyone up in the morning with a massive.
Don't have any tortilla chips afterwards, Dan, as well. You'll be fucked.
Yeah, no chip eating.
Spicy drink and chips in the lungs.
Right, guys. Well, I'm aware that obviously some of you are still on contest prep, so I think we're approaching about an hour and 10 minutes now. So, but no, I appreciate all you boys coming on. That was actually a lot of good fun. So, do this again and kind of catch up with you guys, and good luck to
keep this as the British podcast. If we ever want to do like the bodybuilding bollocks, like the handle stuff, we'll get everybody back on.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be good.
Get everyone on before the Arnold next year.
Was that, Josh?
I said, get everyone on before the Arnolds next year.
Yeah, definitely.
I know a few of us have spoke. Well, we're definitely going to have to get. I mean, me and Josh have linked up already, but we'll be. I've spoke to Dan and I've spoke to Andy and Greg. We'll have to get some sessions in and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, man. Christmas party. Whoop, whoop. Lads on tour. Trap.
That would be very good.
Andy, you're going up to see, or down for you, isn't it? You're going to Ants in a couple of weeks, is it?
Yeah, I'll be Ultraflex on the 19th to film with Magic Eye.
Oh, shit.
With my 2 clients. So, yeah, it should be good.
Good luck. Oh, man.
Are you? I know that it's not with Ant, though. They're training with me.
Oh, you're not training with Ant?
No.
Oh, you said you were.
You're filming Ant on the Monday. Is that with you?
Not planned.
All right. Well, he says he's with Ant on the Monday, and then he's with us on the Tuesday.
Who? Leroy?
No, me and my 2 clients.
Oh, okay. I got you. Right.
No, Magic Eye is filming
Magic. Right.
On Monday. And then
okay. Right. Yeah, I've got you. Yeah, it works eventually. It's been a long week. I'm a teacher, but I only teach music, so it's womp womps. Womp womp. That's it. It's not even a real job. Mate, guys, it's a pleasure as always to be part of the scene and to see you all again.
Yes.
We're all happen again in the near future. But I just want to say good luck to all the boys that are going to be competing soon, and everyone who's watching. Thanks for making it this far, and remember to subscribe and follow all of us on the old Insta G.
Like and comment. Is that what people do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ding ding.
Yeah, ding the dong.
Comment, like, all these bits here. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you all soon.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.